Hello, and welcome to another Metroid Prime Randomizer tournament race. We've got two really great runners in here today. We've got BajaBlood and Interslice. Interslice being the previous champion of the tournament last year. My name is Christopher Foss, and here tonight we also have Sean commentating in Top 82.
Hello, thanks to all for tracking today.
Yes, and also thank you to SpeedGaming for hosting tonight.
Looks
And we're
like
off.
runners are off. Right, I should probably read the runners' agreements for today because it's quite a lot.
Well, it looks like we have a random start, that's for sure.
Here we have infinite speed allowed, 1 to 3 starting items, random starts anywhere except for impact crater, two-way checked elevators, artifact temple and impact crater unshuffled.
Gotcha. And
Yeah, we have some stuff. We have quite some stuff. So I can see we started in
the labs in Vendrana.
labs. Yeah, we do already have wave beam and supers. I think. Yeah.
Yes,
Was
we
that one of the
do.
starting items? I wasn't reading them. I was reading the
Yeah, no,
agreements.
yeah. So super missiles, and wave beam, which immediately puts the research lab hydra check as the next item. So, and that's the direction our runners are going towards.
Yeah, of course. If we I mean, if we're starting in labs, we of course will need to also start with wave beam, supers, and missiles. I think the reason why they had these starting items at all was so there could be more places in logic, because this is the kind of stuff Randomania does when you set it so you start in a random room.
Yeah, if you have more items and a random start, yeah, as you say, there's more starting locations because the game is not just going to immediately dump you in the room you can't get out of, because that would not be very fun. The randomizer is designed in a way that the seed will be completable. Yeah, so this is definitely going to be an interesting race. And starting with supers, to answer chat's question, is because of this check right here on Interslice's end, which you require super missiles to. It's just a missile expansion, though. It was a red herring, and Interslice has turned around to go back the way he came.
Well, it's handy other way.
Baz also chuckling with his spam shots there. Now, doing tricks, you could actually press on through the labs. You can actually get through the observatory room without a boost ball if you pull off a dash. Except they don't have space jump. So you know what? I take that back. This is the only logical way to go.
Without space jump, I can't do that. So yeah, they're gonna have to go away. Just go back to here and see what that can do.
Oh.
Unfortunately, without morph ball and bombs, we can't check the item here.
Yeah, the ruined courtyard.
Oh yeah, with super missiles, we could theoretically go fight Thardus, but I'm not sure. I mean, logically, it requires thermal, though I guess we could do that.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I don't really want to, though.
I would not want to start
Okay,
with that,
that's Plasma in Canyon. So that's going to be handy for a few checks here in Vendrana.
Just realized I've been watching the Twitch stream myself instead of the restream. Yeah, so I wonder if we will see the spider ball anytime soon. Because if they do, then they would be able to get the lighthouse item. But yeah, doing Thardus would definitely be ill-advised currently. Just because you would not be able to get back out of that room with the current items that they have.
So at least with Plasma Beam, we can make short work of She got. I didn't get a good look at the lighthouse there.
Neither did I. I'm just gonna pop out our chat here.
Actually, is it even a lighthouse? Or is it a bell tower?
That is a very good point. We just, the community named it Lighthouse because it was tall. And a tower, and it's what came to
Yeah,
mind, but you
it
know
could
what?
just as well be a bell tower. Okay, so that's space jump.
Yes, indeed.
Behind ice. So that's for Plasma was 4. So with space
No.
jump now, we could actually press on into labs. Though I doubt they will, having gone this deep into actual Fendrana. So they'll probably go back in a bit, if ever. Maybe when they get ice beam, so they don't have to go all the way back once they reach the dark room. That's Morphball, right? Yeah, that's Morphball. Okay.
All right, and yeah, Fendrana is pretty scary without any suits or E-tanks. Like, it's surprising how much damage you can take from an enemy. So you do have to be a little bit careful here. Ba also collecting his Morph Ball. Yeah, and to quickly explain, the runners at any time, if they go to a save station, they can hold R and L and say no to saving, and that will allow them to actually warp back to start. Speaking of which, Ba has done just that.
But he's just turning around and going back out. So
If there's something here, though,
so he probably just wants to go to another section.
and that's bombs for Interslice. So at some point, Baja will
Oh yeah,
need to
that's what he wanted to do. That's Spider Ball. There we
That
go.
is Spider Ball. Wow, this is interesting. So we already have our first route divergence, and man, starting in Fendrana, this is really like entertaining for us.
I really like this. I mean, I would also like it if this was a seed I had to play.
And just a missile expansion for Ba.
I mean, it gets boring after a while.
And that's a boost ball for Interslice.
Yeah, so at least we're getting every ball upgrade pretty soon, except for power bombs, which we still haven't seen.
I'm guessing Ba's not aware that in the recent Randomizer change, you can actually scan to see what item is up there, but unfortunately, not aware of that. He's just going to go for it. Yeah, and this check.
I mean,
is usually...
he does have Spider Ball, so he probably thinks it's going to be something important.
Not only is this Spider Ball check in play, but there's the Ice Runes. Oh my, Ice Beam.
Yeah, that's Ice Beam. So now they could theoretically go back into labs and do everything.
Oh no, Boz, turned around. No, go back, go back. Oh no. Oh dear, I think Boz maybe just checking the elevator quickly, but this is unfortunate because we've already seen on Interslice's end that this is something you need to do, and you'll want to do it early. Hopefully this is not a useful elevator.
Yeah, this is going to phase on processing. So yeah, I think I don't think Baja is going to do something like that. He knows he has every item he needs to do a lot of checks in here, so still going to stay.
Yeah, phase on process, and now Interslice is checking said elevator. Will he progress through it? Nope. Yep, turning around. Ba might have in mind that he might want to be doing more risky plays, simply due to knowing that Interslice has been the previous champion and is incredibly proficient at the Metroid Prime randomizer races. But yeah, fortunately, not taking a gamble quite yet. and the cutscene skipped. So we got some cutscene skips, as you can see on Ba's end, just minor cutscenes. Major cutscenes that, aka cutscenes that reposition the player, are not skipped.
I think they're using competitive skipping actually.
Yes, right. That is the new setting in Randomizer.
Yeah, competitive just disables cutscene that don't move Samus. If a cutscene moves Samus, then it's not disabled.
Ooh, Interslice. Best be careful. Now collecting his own spider ball. Ooh. Interslice being careful there. If he walks right into the scarabs, that would have been an unfortunate death.
Okay, so more or less at the same time, Baja and Interslice are getting the last item the other one doesn't have.
Interslice does have a little bit of a lead right now.
Yeah, Baja's being a bit slower, but overall it's not too much of a difference.
Ooh dear, can be a little bit of a scary fight. He does have the plasma beam if needed. There we go.
Okay, that goes boost ball. So now, in terms of Morph Ball, all we're missing is just Power Bombs. We do have every beam plus Super Missile, so there's a lot of checks that we can do already, which is scary.
Yeah, like even though yeah, and Interslice is going for Thardus. I think this is out of logic though without the thermovisor, unless that was one of the runners' agreements.
No, it's not one of the runners' agreements. It is out of logic, but I think Interslice is just gambling on either Thardus or maybe Quarantine having something useful. Though I don't think you can reach Quarantine from here, unless that's what they're doing.
He
Yep.
manages to skip the trigger. Oh snap!
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's what he's doing. Yeah, so he wants to go to Quarantine real quick. Maybe even check the lift. That normally goes to Magmore.
That is such an incredible skip.
Yeah, he most likely wants the lift info.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, knowing the elevators when
And
they're
it
random
nearly
can be
missed the
helpful.
jump there.
Oh man, yeah. So that the trigger for starting that fight, the pile of rocks there, is deceivingly large and very difficult to skip. But Interslice manages it.
So Baja is instead opting to go back into labs.
Ooh, and it's the Talon West elevator, so that will take us right back to the start. Oh no, wait, was it West? Yeah, Interslice has changed his mind. Or not changed his mind, he checked the item there in Transport Tunnel and is now going off towards the starting location. The vanilla starting location landing site, and perhaps getting the hints for the 6 artifacts.
Most likely.
Yeah, the 6 artifacts required to access the final bosses, and we're only playing with 6 in the tournament.
Let's see, that's a missile.
Ba's very low on health.
Yeah, Ba's running very low on health. Not sure why he didn't go to the save station to either save or just refill. But yeah.
Ba skips the trigger for the fight in this room.
Very fortunate. Okay, opting to get some health here. Interslice is climbing root cave. Okay, that's an E-tag, very handy right now. Another missile in arbor chamber. Let's see here in transmission tower.
Yeah, the extra health the Interslice has now with the energy tank is definitely helpful early on. Although, finally Baja gets his owness too.
Okay, that's another E-tag for Baja. That's
First.
good.
Yeah, like they... Oh, and I missed the elevator check there by Interslice. Did anyone catch that?
Far Chozo.
That's actually convenient. For clearing out Chozo, you wanted to typically back to front for speed purposes. Doing it back to front, you can skip several cutscenes. And say hello and goodbye to George on Ba's side. A Metroid, short-lived.
Oh, another E-tag for Baja.
Rudely getting knocked around by the pirate, though.
Oh, that's Varia behind the ship.
Ooh, that's a good find. Interslice now will be able to access Magma without taking any of the heat damage.
Okay, it's a missile expansion in the dark room, so we're just going to skip that.
And Ba is now fully cleared Defender on the labs. I wonder if Ba...
Unfortunately, this didn't quite pay off, except for the 2 E-tanks.
And surprisingly, also not going to finish off the rest of Fendrana. Wavebuster, joy. So that beam combo, not the most useful.
Well, coming from labs, it's actually pretty good for Baja to come back here. So we're immediately just gonna go tail Interslice.
And Interslice checking artifacts. I'll be writing them down.
Magma Pool Level A, Metroid Quarantine B, Plasma Processing, Frost Cave. I didn't see the first one.
Phase on Mining Tunnel.
Oh, right. Fantastic.
For anyone that doesn't know that, it requires the Phase suit, and it's the only check that requires the Phase suit, other than obviously requiring it for the final bosses. PMT, Lava Lake, Magma Pool. Did you catch the other 3?
MQB, Plasma Processing, and Frost Cave. They're in chat here on Twitch, thanks Asda.
Thank you, yes.
No, it was MQB, definitely, remember.
And I'll write that down in our own chat.
Yeah, it was definitely B, I remember. So, Baja didn't do Root Cave and Arbor Chamber. Instead, he's just checking the lift here.
Alrighty, and it is Far Chozo East. That makes a difference with our current items. One of them is Ice Beam locked, whereas the other one is Bombs locked, but they have both items. And Interslice, doing the logical thing, is going towards Chozo.
Baja's also getting Varia here. Missed it once, missed it twice. There we go.
Oh, sorry, to Lava Lake, okay. So here we are in Magmore. Interslice will be able to pretty much fully clear the area except for any power bomb checks currently.
Yeah, I wonder what power bombs are. So far, this has been a pretty quick seed.
As chat points out, this is technically not in logic because they climbed the crash frigate site, I believe, to access this elevator. Interslice collecting the flamethrower and
Very
thus
good.
verifying his run.
Yeah, we can just leave it at this. Thank you for watching. See you in the next mission.
Flamethrower being the useful item it ever is.
Be.
I know of at least one viewer that is not very familiar with Metroid Prime, so just to fill them in, the flamethrower is easily the most useless item in the game. It's it's a late item you would usually acquire, and it's not worth it. The amount of missile ammo it requires to use, it's a joke item in our runners.
Actually, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I never got flamethrower in the vanilla game. Where was it?
It was in storage depot A or security access A. I always muddle up storage and security, but early on in the phase on mines. Of course, you do need power bombs and plasma beam to access. I missed that elevator there, but Interslice opting not to use it. Yes, so that was chosen north, so Magma is in play now, logically. And that is the gravity suit. Interslice just double checking there. You don't need it. It is not required for a single check if you know how to pull off some tricks. But it is very nice to have if you ever need to or decide to search for the crashed frigate.
Or you just like purple.
Or you like the color.
Like me. I love it. I would get it every time, even if it was useless.
Town south, okay.
Okay, this goes to Lava Lake.
Interslice missed the jump. He was going for a bomb jump but failed it, and now that was the right play. Hopefully he doesn't fail this jump again. This dash can be very, very
I feel like at this point it might just be slightly faster to go use Spider Ball.
Yeah, it's when you have the Spider Ball, the Spider Ball is what you logically need to go through that room, and they do have it. But Interslice
yeah, it's slow, but I mean, come on.
And of course, this item isn't logic plasma processing. It takes a little bit to acquire said item.
Yeah, so that's why we got Boost Ball.
Yes, this is one of the few checks that pretty much requires Boost Ball, at least for our runners, or our sane runners, I should say. You know, lack of progression for our runners. And of course, I totally forgot, we already knew that this room had an artifact, so that's why Interslice is grabbing it. Unfortunately, this does mean that the Phase and Processing Center will now have beam pirates instead of regular pirates. And did Bob collect the flamethrower? I unfortunately missed that.
Oh, I don't think he did.
Alright, an Interslice checking the elevator. The other chose a south elevator. Okay. And Interslice is going for it.
You know, if Plandos get popular enough, maybe Flamethrower might actually stop being a meme.
Funnily enough, for the Randomizer that I created, the flamethrower is required to finish the seed.
Yeah, see?
Yes, because this is something that Toaster Party managed to implement. And you can actually change, you get to determine where the items are, but you can also change the doors, they do support beam combos.
They programmed in a few additional doors. Some, like, for example, ones that require a specific missile combo, so that can make Wave Buster, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower all useful for unlocking doors.
If I'm not mistaken, there's residual code for that within the game for that. But I could be wrong with that.
Ah, there is?
I'm not 100% sure. Also, man, is that 3 Chozo elevators connected to Magmor? Because that might make routing a little more awkward later down the road. I wonder where our Elephazon Mines elevator is.
Well, there was one, the one in Shorelines went directly to Phazon Processing Center, so that should be a problem.
So yeah, right now, Interslice going for the item density area, that is the Chozo ruins.
Honestly, I hope Phazon is in biohazard containment.
That would be evil. So Interslice is probably hoping that he'll find a power bomb at some point during his Chozo run. And is going for Talon South. Technically, you need power bombs for power bomb checks to logically become into play, but we know there's an artifact in Magma Pool, and Magma Pool requires a power bomb to access that item. But you could just pick up an expansion and acquire it. With how dense the items are in Chozo Ruins, there is a good possibility that he might just stumble onto them, because there's the main power bombs and 4 power bomb expansions.
Can you set it so you'd need the base item to use power bombs and missiles in Prime 1? I don't think you can in Randomania.
You can in Echoes. I don't believe it's supported in Prime 1 as of yet.
Yeah, I know you can in Echoes, and I don't think it's possible in Prime 1 yet.
It definitely
I think it was
possible
in Bash Primes. I think it was possible in Bash Primes Randomizer.
And that is the X-ray visor. So now if Interslice decides to go down to the deep mines, he will be able to defeat the Omega Pirate. It is the only check in the game that requires the X-ray visor.
Well, hard
and the item
anyway.
behind him. It also helps to have X-ray visor to see checks that are like behind power bombs or like super missiles. If you don't have either, you can see within them the X-ray visor.
And of course, it helps in the essence fight. It's not hard required. It's logically required, not hard required. Although it certainly helps.
Yes, definitely. Is going for Hydro Access Tunnel. Technically, you need Gravity Suit for this, but with some well-timed and executed boosts off the wall, you can boost downwards.
You can get your missile expansion.
Incredibly well done, though, at the same time, or executed, because...
Yeah, so the way that works is when you're falling, you can actually boost down with the boost ball. Like if you use boost ball while you're falling, you'll just fall faster. And in that tunnel, you're constantly being pushed upwards by a stream. But uh, you know, you still fall underwater. So same thing applies there. So you can just boost downwards.
Yeah, we're seeing very great like tricks pulled off, like for Interslice with the Tharda skip and Bob with Hat going so smooth. We've got a good race going here. Interslice fighting against the incinerator drone we affectionately call Zoid. It takes a random amount of time for him to show his weak spot. And
yeah, I think that's named after one of the developers, right?
Correct, yes, Zoid was his nickname. You can see it in the credits.
Yeah, I remember.
And Interslice is rewarded with nothing. Well, a missile expansion, but yeah, not very useful.
Oh yeah, we still haven't seen any nothings yet.
Yeah, so the nothing items being the filler items. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. We haven't seen any.
That being said, another thing I miss from Bash Prime Randomizer is that you could set it so the filler items would just be random items, just fully random items, which could help sometimes.
Yeah, there's a few things that were only available in the previous randomizer because it was worked on different code, and we may one day see it implemented again.
We'll see.
This is an open source project, so feel free to contribute if you ever wish to.
Oh yeah, if there's any programmers, developers listening, I'm sure the current developers would love to have some help.
Alright, Interslice doing a little more comfortable with energy now. And Ba collecting another artifact. Shozo is pretty barren. And if Interslice doesn't find a power bomb expansion or power bombs here, you will have to backtrack for that magma pool.
So yeah, purely in terms of progression, right now they're pretty equal, though Interslice is knocking out a lot more checks right now. Baron Chozo in my Randovania? Yeah, Randovania has been worked on so much, it's gotten so much better than you can actually have Baron Chozo. That's quite an achievement, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's been little tweaks between the rounds to improve or well, I say improve, to vary up the item randomness. Interslice doesn't find power bombs.
I mean, for a randomizer, I would say that's an improvement.
Yes.
That's literally the point.
So Interslice is not doing Flarga quite yet, which I do not blame him. That is a very slow check. Oh, well,
there's main power
look at
bombs.
that.
Okay, that's good. And it was in Plaza, so it's really close to Magma Core too. We don't have
And now
Grapple
power bombs
Beam,
are in
but
logic.
Interslice could just do a good scan dash. He does have 4 E-tanks, so that should be enough to at least get back to the other side if he fails.
Yes. Oh, and there's another
Wave Buster. So I think they do have some filler items. It's either Wave Buster or something else.
Indeed, yeah.
Or they might have put multiple instances of all missile combos. So there might be like 2 wave busters, 2 ice spreaders, and 2
Oh snap!
flamethrowers.
There's our phase on
Oh,
suit.
there's phase on. Okay, so we're actually in
Interslice
go
is in
mode.
go mode. Yeah. Also, I was going to mention that tower missiles, or that tower, will never
Tower
have
of Light.
an item. Thank you. The Tower of Light will never have an item currently in Randomania due to it not having understanding the concept of missile expansions. They just don't exist right now. So
Yeah,
that
that's
item will
something else.
never have
That's something
anything.
else that's I think it's being worked on with Randomania. Just making it so the software actually can put the amount of missiles you have in logic.
Yes, and it's what was I going to say? Oh, it's you can still check the item, and if it is a progressive item, that's really useful knowledge to know that that means that that item will never be required anywhere. But Interslice is in go mode, so there's definitely no reason to check it.
Okay, that was a really smooth scan dash.
Yes.
Strength, and we go right back to the other
Wow,
side. Another
hopefully.
really smooth dash.
Yeah, Interslice
That's
making
the
it look
stuff
easy.
you want to see.
Yeah, like if you fail that dash, you're going into the lava and it can be deadly. So 36 minutes in and we're already in go mode.
With half of the artifacts already in hand. Yeah, though we do have to go all the way down to Metroid Quarantine B, so that's going to be quite a trek.
And the Phasland mining tunnel. Oh,
Yep.
but MQBs,
well,
you're right, that comes after. The fortunate thing is, our runners...
At least we do have Phase On, so Phase On mining tunnel is going to be faster.
Oh,
that's a
found the
visor.
thermal visor.
I think that's thermal, yeah.
Oh, or is that... Yeah. Well, there you go.
If X-ray was elsewhere, that's definitely thermal.
So that will help Ba in the final battle, because he will never be blind. Metroid Prime will never be invisible to him. But he is losing time here trying to acquire it. And Interslice just showing off the usefulness of warp to start. Just getting out Chozo right back to Fenjana.
Yeah, that's really handy. Some races here have it disabled. Want it to be more old school.
Chat points out that is the X-ray visor.
Baja's having some issues here getting the visor. A bit like Koshi the other day. And there he goes. Okay, and, yeah, it was X-ray.
Yeah, our apologies.
I still can't tell them apart.
It's almost impossible to tell them apart from like a tiny little bit of orange on the thermal visor on the spot. Honestly, I would not be opposed to someone modifying that model to be a little more distinct.
Yeah, either the model or the texture. If it's a unique texture. One thing I'm not sure about with the Randomizer, I'm not sure why the graphics for the doors, the textures, the custom doors are so different from the vanilla ones.
I'm not sure what I know what you mean.
I mean, I could come up with like 10 other designs on the spot.
And Interslice has gone back.
That's to undermine the work. No, that's gone into it, of course.
Yeah, like what do you like? The regular doors, they look the same to me. By last time I checked.
The custom doors are very similar to the vanilla doors. They are but instead of having this kind of gradient outline, they have a solid outline that has a texture with angled lines going all over it.
Believe it or not, it used to be less distinct. Yeah, I know what you mean. It has a pattern to it, and yeah, like the texture used to be less distinct, and I think it's distinguished enough. But yeah, check out the if you ever want some creations, so these like purposefully placed items, etc. Definitely check out Toaster Party's Randomizer. It is a fork of the Randomizer, I believe.
Yeah, it needs a lot more love. That thing's amazing.
Definitely. And
It's a bit of a pain to set up and actually create a seed for, but well, not seed, but you know, a preset, whatever you want to call it.
all right, and all that's left for Interslice is getting to the mines. This is a very, very fast seed.
Done by a very fast runner.
Unfortunately, it's going to be for Ba. It's going to be very difficult to catch up at this point.
Yeah, that would be
doors are
great. That would
random
be
doors
great.
are already supported in the Randomizer.
Yeah, they are supported in the Randomizer, though, as they said, they meant to Randomania, so you can actually randomize a seed and have random doors. It would also be nice to be able to create a random seed for the Randomizer. So instead of going in and putting random on anything or something like that, you can just create a seed for it. Like maybe that could be done in the form of Plando support for Randomania. I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. I suppose some of the members here are very committed to improving Prime games for us, and we're very grateful. Also, Baz collected the main power bombs and going back to Magma Pool.
Yeah, going directly into Magma Core, straight into it.
Well, let's see if he gets the Magma Pool check. This is going to be scary. Oh.
Yeah, he's doing
a very different way of doing this.
Yeah, he's doing it it's a bit safer, but not really. There's a lot more jumps you need to do that you can screw up.
I wonder where our grapple beam is. Oh, wow, wow. Well done on Baz that side. I've never actually seen that, witnessed that route pulled off in a run.
Definitely not as smooth as what Interslice did, but still really nice.
Definitely. Well done. Oh, like, so the primary use for that way of acquiring, like what Ba just did, would be the only way you could do it if you had Scan Visor shuffled as well. It wouldn't be there logically, of course. There would have to be a setting that the runner would have to enable. But if you ever wanted something a little more challenging, and you wanted to skip, you definitely could. The Randomizer, of course, allows you to change how difficult some of the logic is. So it wouldn't expect you to pull off these difficult tricks, but you can enable it to, so you can make it so it can expect it.
I would love if in a tournament or maybe in a month for weeklies, I would love it if we could enable a logic trick to do a Tower of Light without missiles, so you don't. So we can actually put it in logic. I think that's in Randomizer. I think you can enable it.
Yes, it is. It's just not tournament logic.
What level is it actually?
I'm not sure. And I just want to point out, Ba has collected his Phazon suit, and Interslice has collected his 5th artifact. He's about to
Yeah, so that's going to be go mode for Baja 2. Still a bit behind, but not that much.
Now, routing-wise, I wonder what the fastest way to get back to landing site is from MQB. Probably warp to start, definitely, unless you want to do the Make a Pirate fight, which I don't see Interslice doing.
Yeah, Deep Mines isn't that bad of a location if you have warp to start enabled, because at least you don't have to backtrack once you get what you need. Can you imagine if a seed started you in Metroid quarantine?
Oh boy. That would be evil. And here's the question. Will Interslice be able to skip the Thardus fight again? Will we see it 2 times in 1 seed?
Definitely.
Now you just jinxed it. Alright, drum roll. Chat, please.
I trust him.
Difficult. Prophet. He gets it. Excellently done.
Yeah,
well
see?
done. Wow, hands
And
off
to answer the question in chat, you can't shuffle the combat visor in Prime 1 yet in Randomizer. You can shuffle it in Echoes because in Echoes you can set the default visor to be Echo visor, because that works in that game, but it doesn't seem to work in this one with anti-visor, so you can't shuffle combat visor.
Unfortunately for Ba, just showing how difficult this trick is, unfortunately stumbled into the fight. And now has to fight off against Thardus, which we already know has nothing useful. Unless it decides to do grapple beam, which would be hilarious, but we'll see. The grapple beam is not required for anything. I mean, technically, logically, it was in this seed for Magma Pull, but both runners showing off that they don't need it.
Actually, about the
Ship save
shuffling combat visor thing, I remember seeing a very old Bash Prime video where he got a seed someone else had made for him. Don't remember who, and it started him with Annihilator beam with no ammo. So I had to charge every single shot, and Echo visor without combat visor.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, really fun.
I definitely don't mean that sarcastically. Yeah, Southern runners like the challenge, aka the masochism.
Oh, you tell me. I'm trying the Prey 2017 randomizer, and it has an option in there to disable to actually enable gravity in the sections of the game that normally are 0G. And I enabled it because it sounded really fun, and I am having a lot of fun with it.
That is a game I need to play.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
really good. Really good immersive sim. Really nice gameplay too.
Interslice demonstrating that you can easily and quickly get through the first phase of Metroid simply by boosting into them. There is no damage cap to the boost ball, and they forgot to remove it from Ridley. So, instant phase 1 over. And now just, wow, incredibly, look at this. Oh, there we go, there's one dash. The hitbox is unfortunately a little more challenging to hit when he's doing the dash, and Ridley is down very fast. And look at that, Thargus is down on the boss side.
So unfortunately, Baja was slowed down a lot by Thardas here, and Slice is already heading into Impact Crater.
Yeah, unless something catastrophic happens for Interslice, he's got this in the bag.
Yeah, this is Interslice's race to lose.
I think where the ultimate decider was, not the ultimate decider, but one of the key deciders was the fact that labs had nothing useful in them. Like, actually, come to think of it, did labs have anything useful at all? I don't think they did.
Yeah, no, they didn't. It was just missiles.
And I believe there was 1 or 2 energy tanks in there. Collecting his 4th artifact in the Frost Cave.
Oh yeah, there was one E-tank in the tower.
Is there also not one in Research Lab either? If I recall correctly, at the bottom in the tank.
Oh yeah. There was one there too. Sorry.
But you are
The
right
rest
in
were
the
all
fact.
missiles.
The fact you are right, although that there must be at least one more E-tank on the route that I'm not thinking of, because Interslice has 4 and Ba only has 5. Number 1. All right, so this is the second sub-chamber for Interslice against Metroid Prime. At this point, go ahead.
There are some E-tanks that only Interslice got, and some that only Baja got. For example, Interslice went up into Root Cave and Arbor Chamber. Baja never did. There was one E-tank up there.
My stream froze right when you said whatever it was.
Oh, that's fine. Interslice did Root Cave and Arbor Chamber.
Yes.
Baja never did, and there was an E-tank up there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I totally forgot about that. So yeah, and just to quickly go on to the Exo fight, now we're going to see not only normal wave and ice, but also plasma phase. Also, you will always start with a grapple attack here. From this sub-chamber onwards, simply touching Exo Prime will actually make your arm cannon flinch. So you really want to try and avoid that if possible. You can actually manipulate Exo into doing claw attacks consistently by being close to it, but it can be a little difficult to pull off at times. And
I love how that's considered manipulation. Like, that's literally just the AI working as intended.
Yes, fair enough.
If you get close, it's gonna use melee attacks. That sounds really normal.
Yes, now you mention it. I believe Ba only has 4 artifacts, actually. Interslice making smooth work of Exo here. And that is... Oh! Got the swipe there, but a little P-shot managed to bring him down.
And that was Exo. That was Exo, so...
And finally we are on to the final fight. Essence Prime. Could this be a sub-hour seed?
Interslice also got X-Ray, so...
Could this be a sub-hour seed? Like, it'll be a bit challenging because Interslice is missing the thermal visor.
We do have 4 minutes, so maybe that's possible.
Alright.
If Interslice plays really well here, we might see it.
Here's hoping there's no pool skips. Depending on the location of Essence, you could get unlucky and you might just not drop a pool. You just have to wait. Oh,
okay, that was an X-ray phase. Really lucky.
Yes, the next phase will be the ultimate determining one.
Oh, so if we actually see a thermal phase, it's important to point out that you can actually see where Essence is without thermal. I think without X-ray too, by just using scan visor, because you can still scan it even when it's invisible. It's weird that it happens with it, but it does.
Interslice did get pull skip, so now this is gonna be much more. Oh, maybe it was intentional. Maybe he did that intentionally, so you wouldn't have to worry about the thermal phase. Just get on with it faster, you know.
Maybe. Because you will do less damage to Essence if you're not using its preferred visor.
I was not aware of that. I was just assuming it's just your shots not connecting. Yeah, the pumping of the shots and the pumping of the shots is to interrupt the animations to make it drop a pool faster, and then the walking in and out of a pool is to speed up is to conserve the pool animal. This is probably a sub-hour.
Yeah, so when you do less damage when you're not using the correct visor, it's true. It's what you said. Your attacks don't connect, but it's also because your attacks don't connect because as you can't see it, it's really hard to actually hit it, and you can't reliably shoot it in the right place. Okay, just 1 minute left. Just got a smidge of health to take care of there. Hoping for one pour, just one. Okay, there goes one pour. Come on. Come on. There we go.
That's it, time, sub-hour.
59-18, really good. That was satisfying.
What a fast seed.
GG.
Incredibly well done on both runners' side. And Baja has forfeited.
Yeah, well,
And,
not much.
and and we have here in the booth
Baja's here
Baja.
already, so hey, Baja.
Hello, how's it going?
Oh, not too bad. You provided us an entertaining race. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was quite a seed. The early games, the routing was very interesting. Like trying to decide where to go was a challenge here.
Yeah, no kidding. That immediate start off with the super missiles and the wave beam, thinking that
Yeah,
it's like obviously research lab
Yeah.
Hydra's going to have something,
100%
right?
morph ball there or something like that. But nope.
Nope,
Obviously,
indeed.
Stardust is gonna have something, maybe.
And welcome Interslice to the booth as well. How are you feeling?
Welcome, GG's.
GG. I felt pretty good about my routing.
Yeah, that was a really well done on your part. I like both of you. Like I'm impressed with some of the tricks you managed to pull off. So yeah, like the being able to skip Thardus 2 times in a single seed Interslice, and
3
then
times actually.
3. It was 3. Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah, it was
And
3.
Should have been 2, but I forgot.
Oh, did you skip labs after the early game shoreline stuff?
I didn't do
That was-
anything
yep.
beyond Hydra.
Ah, interesting.
Once I got those beams, I decided I need to get to an elevator right now and find where my artifacts are.
Nice. Yeah, I skipped Farfendrana, and I was wondering if I had made up some time there, but actually, nope, I had lost time. But there was no chance I was going to get there to skip 3 times in a row, so it was kind of inevitable that I was going to fight him. Because I was going to route back through there and back too.
Man,
I wonder
3 times.
if maybe Grapple was in Frigate, because we got Gravity, right? And
Find out right now. Grapple was in Fungal Hall Access. I just walked past it, didn't look at it.
Oh, yep.
oh, that would be funny.
And just to go off back to other tricks, I was really impressed by that hat trick, Hydro Axis Tunnel. That was so smooth. Like you just
Thank you.
crushed through it.
I spent half an hour yesterday bashing my head against it in a seat, so it's good to know that paid off.
Yes.
Speaking of smooth, there was also those scan dashes in Magmapool. Those were
Yes.
just lovely from Interslice.
Oh, thanks.
And
Yeah.
I've never seen that wave getting across the magma pool, jumping on the pillars.
Yeah, Reggie taught that to me 2 days ago, so that was timely.
Oh yeah,
because
it was in Fungal Hall
I don't
Access.
trust myself
Yeah.
to do that R dash.
Yeah, it's really that'd be really useful if scan visor was shuffled.
Yeah, also true.
Oh yeah, so we had filler Wave Buster, which wasn't written in the runners' agreements.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, I forgot to put that in there.
That's a-okay. Yeah, and that early moment, when you were debating whether to go to phase and processing.
You forgot to point out that Wave Buster was a filler item, but you still took the time to specify that Artifact Temple and Impact Crater weren't shuffled in the elevator in two-way shuffling.
Well, do want to make sure that can really mess up a seed if that doesn't happen.
Yes.
Yeah, but you did feel the need to specify it, to write it down.
No, it's just a simple that's a joke suggestion, like the Wave Buster thing. But yeah, the early on Baja, you actually had a little bit of a lead right at the start when you decided the warp start immediately, and then finding Morph Ball finding Spider Ball in Courtyard to collect your Ice Beam. But then as you're going towards your bombs, you turned around, and then you started going towards Hazem Processing Center, and we were a little concerned that you're gonna take the gamble when we knew your bombs were right around the corner. unfortunately, you did
Yeah.
go back for them.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I mean, if that elevator had gone somewhere useful, like I would have followed it, but also that would have meant it was the type of seed where bombs probably weren't actually in Chozoi's temple. So I just
Come
wanted
to
to have that information before heading up there with only being able to check one of the two things.
Come to think of it, Phase 1 Processing Center, you literally wouldn't have been able to collect any items without any power bombs. So,
Yep.
yeah. So, yeah, the only logical thing then at that point is Thardis or the labs, and yeah, the rest was pretty much.
Yeah, those late power bumps, I think, stopped me from doing a lot of stupid decisions. I would have went to the lower mines way earlier, if probably before I got Phase and Suit, if I didn't have power bombs.
Yeah, I don't know if how early did you do Chozo? Because I did it after pretty much all of Magmor because I was chasing that Maria suit.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
that
pretty
was-
much what I did.
The other key difference was you did Talon South and Interslice did not.
Yeah, I felt kind of like as I was riding that elevator up, I'm like, this isn't probably very good. But I knew that we had late PBs because of that grav suit. I'm like, well, that makes Hat pretty valuable. Maybe I'll get really lucky here. Didn't pay out, but at least I was in and out relatively quickly. And the elevator at the top was useful, I think. I don't remember. Maybe it wasn't.
I actually don't remember at this point. Was it to... No, I don't remember. Otherwise, do we have any other last thoughts from the two of you? Any like things that you really enjoyed about that seed? Or despised?
Not really. That's about it.
That was pretty cool.
Stream for a jet seed.
Yeah,
Yeah, sub-hour Interslice. Well done.
thanks.
Otherwise, yes, that pretty much wraps us up. Thanks again to our tracker, Op82, for doing such a good job keeping track of both runners. That's incredibly challenging, especially at the rate they were collecting items. And then to the SpeedGaming staff for hosting us in this entire tournament. We are taking up a lot of their time, so because there's so many contestants this time around.
Definitely do check out the runners here, BajaBlood and Interslice. Thanks to them again for running today. Thanks to Christopher here for helping me.
Yeah, anytime. And thank you,
And
Sean,
thanks
as well.
to all of you to all of you for watching.
Until then, and the last thing we will do, just to let you know, do we have any other races tonight?
Yes, I think there's one at 9.
I think you're correct. Let's just double check the schedule here. If I was smooth, I would have this information ready to rock and roll.
I don't see any. I see one tomorrow.
Was
I
it
think
tomorrow? night?
Faisi versus Koshi is in about 15 minutes. I don't know.
There
Oh,
we go.
it's not here. Oh, it's wait. This says it's on Thursday, September 16th.
Okay, well, there might be a run, there might not be.
I mean, it already has a channel dedicated to it, so I think it was just I think maybe it got assigned the wrong day, but if it is supposed to be tonight, then yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
No, it looks like they pushed it back.
Oh yeah,
to
they
Thursday.
moved it. They moved it. Yeah. So there's
Alrighty
nothing else tonight. There's
At
one
least for
race
Metroid
tomorrow. There's one race tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. EDT. RoboScout versus Frostbite.
And right now, there's a Metroid Fusion race going on SpeedGaming, and yeah. Otherwise, yes.
So for more Metroid, you can always check out that. Always check that out. It's interesting.
Oh, it's actually at the end of the seed. Oh, the sign off is not gone. Anyway, take care, everyone, and we'll see you next mission.
See you next mission.